Now on 4 News Now at 6. New details in the case of a Spokane County Sheriff's Sergeant accused of beating a man who was resting in his car. What the report shows the sergeant claims was in that car.
Record high temperatures today, but we have a major change on the way. I'll let you know when to expect the cool down in your first alert forecast.
A new business may soon be moving into the abandoned Shopko on the South Hill. Why some are concerned about increased traffic and what the city's plan will be to prevent it. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Hamas and Putin represent different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy, completely annihilate it.
Within the last hour, President Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office. The president announcing a $100 billion aid package to support Israel and Ukraine. We'll have the president's message to the nation tonight at 6:30. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Last week, we told you a Spokane County Sheriff's Sergeant had been placed on administrative leave following an alleged excessive use of force incident from back in August that left a man with 8 broken ribs and a punctured lung. Now, for the first time, we are learning what Sergeant Cody Hilton says unfolded that night. And we do want to warn you that some of the images in this report contain physical violence and may be disturbing to see. Natalie Grant is joining us in studio with what the sergeant says triggered this aggressive response. Natalie.
Well, Kirsten, in his report the night of the incident, Sergeant Clay Hilton says this man here, Kevin Hinton, was confrontational and refusing to identify himself while in a park after hours. Sergeant Hilton also saying he saw 2 knives inside the vehicle, a new detail that we're learning based on this report. Last week, we showed you this body cam video of 62-year-old Kevin Hinton getting pulled out of his car and repeatedly hit by Spokane County Sheriff Sergeant Clay Hilton. According to Hinton's lawyers, he had been driving for 11 hours that day and stopped to visit family in Spokane Valley and rest before finishing his drive to the Colfax area. But now new documents obtained by 4 News Now are sharing what Sergeant Hilton said were the reasons behind his actions. In the report, Sergeant Hilton said he saw the car in the Terrace View Park parking lot after legal hours and smelled burnt marijuana as he approached it. Hilton said the man inside was immediately confrontational and refused to share his name. He said he also saw a knife in the driver's side door of the car as well as in the back seat. Hilton said when he tried to arrest Hinton, he resisted and, quote, jumped back into the driver's seat. Hilton saying that at that point he thought Hinton was trying to grab one of the knives, and that's when things got physical. In the report, Hilton said he hit Hinton with his hands and his knee 5 times in order to get him out of the car and to comply with the arrest. In speaking with Hinton's lawyers after receiving the report, they say some of Hilton's details do not match up to body cam footage. They also confirmed knives were present in the car that night, but claim their client was not reaching for one and therefore should not have been physically assaulted to that level. Now, Hinton and his lawyers are in the process of suing the county over this. Sergeant Hilton is still on administrative leave as the Spokane Police Department conducts that investigation. And if you'd like to read that full report or watch the full body cam video, they're both posted on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in studio, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. If you saw or smelled smoke around Spokane County today, don't worry, it is not from a wildfire. The smoke is coming from a prescribed burn on the Turnbull Wildlife Refuge in Cheney. Fire officials say prescribed burns are intended to reduce future wildfire risk. And speaking of that smoke, Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here with a look at what else we saw today outside and smelled. It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous, and the temperatures were well above average, 76 in Spokane. That compares to a previous record of 73 set back in 1944. New record high today. We are not going to do the same tomorrow. We're going to be cooling down, but here's a look at high temperatures across across the region. 75 in Coeur d'Alene, St. Mary's. We were at 77 in Pullman and 78 degrees today in Lewiston. Few 60s on the map. We're going to be a little bit cooler in some spots tomorrow. 70 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 72 in Pullman, Grand Coulee, 70 tomorrow in Omak. Right around the Spokane area, expect temperatures in the 60s in Deer Park and Spirit Lake. We'll be in the lower 70s through the I-90 corridor. Meanwhile, let's take a look at your forecast for tomorrow. Air quality in the moderate range, mainly because we have this stagnant air mass with high pressure over us, but nothing that should be getting into the sensitive or unhealthy range. We're going to see blue skies, sunshine, light winds, and that high temperature about 15 degrees above average. That temperature will continue to drop through the 7-day forecast. I'll tell you about some cooler, wetter weather on the way and the potential for our first hard freeze of the season in Spokane. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Federal regulators have approved the expansions of the natural gas pipeline that runs through Washington and Idaho. The project aims to expand the Gas Transmission Northwest pipeline. The company says the goal is to increase the amount of natural gas it pumps per day to keep up with demand. It plans to modify 3 compressor stations, including one in Kootenai County. Many Western state officials were against the expansion. Governor Jay Inslee releasing a statement saying, in part, quote, "The federal government has finally begun making tremendous climate investments under the Inflation Reduction Act, but this decision essentially digs the hole deeper and locks in long-term capital investments that prevent us from reaching our national and state goals." Well, something new could finally be coming to the old Shopko on the South Hill. A Home Depot is proposed to replace that building that's been sitting empty since 2019. This is according to pre-development documents from the city of Spokane. The new store plans include a garden center and tool rental service. Engineering firm Lars Anderson and Associates says this plan has been in motion for 3 to 4 years now, and it would be right off of South Regal near 44th Street. Allison Martinez joins us live there now with details.
Kirsten, this Shopko building has been sitting completely empty for years. You can see it's completely overrun with weeds and vandalism. Now, this deserted spot could very soon be a brand new Home Depot. I spoke to some South Hill residents who tell me this is very exciting news. The old Shopko has been deserted and outgrown by weeds since 2019. Now, a plan is in the works for South Hill's first Home Depot location. The next closest Home Depot is in North Spokane. South Hill residents tell me getting to that location is a hassle.
It's really hard to get in and out of there, so I think it would be really nice to have one up here, just that we wouldn't have to go to Liberty Lake or to the north side.
And the fact that it's so close to Costco means you're fighting with the Costco people for parking area down there. Up here it should be a lot better.
The proposal from the city of Spokane says the store would be 137,470 square feet and cost about $20 million to construct. Plans are in place for the store to include a garden center, tool renting area, and special events section. The pre-development documents also say the store would employ 145 to 175 employees and receive deliveries 24 hours a day. Some South Hill residents we spoke to raised concerns about the traffic this will bring to the area. The city says a traffic analysis would be needed before moving forward.
We learn to live with it. It's better than having to go across the river and go north.
Now, this project is in the pre-development process. We'll be sure to keep you updated as we learn more information. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez for News Now.
Thank you, Allison. A 17-year-old Chelan County High School student now faces charges for threatening to shoot up his school. The sheriff's office says a female student reported the threat to Kashmir High School principal, saying that the suspect threatened to shoot her first before moving on to the rest of the school. The suspect was arrested and booked into the Chelan County Juvenile Justice Center. Still ahead, 3 men are on the run for trying to break into someone's home in Auburn, Washington. What they said to try and convince the owner to open the door, coming up.
Plus, the threat of $15 laser pointer is causing to thousands of pilots each year, including a Spokane Life flight that was carrying a patient. That story coming up after the break.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
I'm Kim Please, running for Spokane City Council President. For safer neighborhoods, a vibrant downtown, and people in need getting real help. That's my vision for our future. Vote Kim Please for Council President.
5 stars. All rise for To Kill a Mockingbird. Unmissable and unforgettable. A mockingbird for our moment. Beautiful, elegiac, satisfying, even exhilarating. A New York Times critic's pick. Mockingbird is now the most successful American play in Broadway history. All rise for Aaron Sorkin's great play. Richard Thomas is Atticus Finch in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
December 5th through 10th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
What you're seeing today is a successful eye surgery. And this, the dedicated hours of virtual training that made it happen. Academic advancements are being achieved every day through collaborative hands-on learning. Upskilling careers, now made possible through immersive environments. These are the ways the metaverse is being used today.
Every year, the crowds go crazy for the Cal Triple Play of the Day, where you can get tricked out cool trucks or sporty SUVs just in time for winter. And this week, you can delay all payments until next year. Get a minimum $2,000 trade-in value for your old ride, plus get a 2-year service maintenance program with every vehicle sold, which is a triple play opportunity this week at both Cal locations.
Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at Mississauga Casino Hotel.
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing, then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
people care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system. I believe that.
Brown's actual record, she gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to La Taxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
A man was arrested for pointing a powerful laser at a Life Flight helicopter carrying a patient, then once more at Spokane County's Air One helicopter. It's a part of a growing problem that's threatening pilots regularly. Jordan Smith is in studio tonight with how damaging these lights can really be, Jordan.
Well, your initial thought might be, how can a $15 laser pointer wreak such havoc on a multi-million-dollar aircraft, several thousand feet in the air? But you can see here the footage of what that light does in real time. That light bounces off the windows within the aircraft and reflective surfaces, illuminating the cockpit and impairing the pilot's visions. Aircraft everywhere are flying into a blinding problem. Piercing light from laser pointers flashing through the cockpit.
Everything being in a dark room and someone shining a flashlight in your eyes and then turning that light off, you wouldn't be able to see in that room very well again.
In this footage of a helicopter circling in downtown Seattle, you can see how bright those lights really are from the pilot's perspective, making something as basic as reading the aircraft's instruments incredibly difficult. It's far from a one-off. There are thousands of incidents each year. The FAA predicts this year will surpass more than 12,000.
Just this morning, we had 2 reports from Spokane International, 5:20 and 5:25 this morning. Airplanes were hit by lasers as they were taking off from Spokane International.
For those who think it's a harmless prank, it's actually a federal offense. It'll land you in jail and result in an $11,000 fine per incident. These incidents are taken incredibly seriously by law enforcement.
You're talking about hundreds of people on board, 150 maybe on a 737. That's a lot of lives at risk if those pilots can't see and do their job safely.
Now, the good news is here tonight, fortunately, a laser pointer has yet to result in any aircraft crash, but that upwards trending number of incidents is concerning for law enforcement. In studio tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Jordan, thank you. Every year, thousands of kids die at the hands of abuse and neglect. That's according to the National Children's Alliance. The goal of one local nonprofit is to keep our kids here in the Inland Northwest safe in emergencies or situations of abuse. Vanessa Behan has been taking in babies and kids up to 12 years old for close to 40 years now. Their doors are open 24 hours a day and services are free. Leaders at Vanessa Behan say the overall goal is to provide kids immediate refuge from abuse while simultaneously supporting parents and families, making sure they're not alone on their parenting journey. Over the years, the need for their services has grown, and in some cases, they have had to turn families away, not because they don't have the space, but they just don't have the funding.
We've got about a $4 million gap between what we're doing today and what it would take to be at capacity. We've got the space. We just need to scale and grow. We've got to stop asking our kids and our families to wait. We've got to figure this out and figure out how we can grow our budget so that we can meet that demand.
And according to Vega, who you just heard from, investing in these children early plays a big role in the future of our community as a whole. Next weekend, Vanessa Behan is holding their 20th annual Pumpkin Ball fundraiser. They also take donations year-round, including things like diapers and formula. You can hear more about how the services at Vanessa Behan are vital for our Spokane families in Natalie Grant's special report. That is tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6.
Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. We've got more sunshine and 70s on the way for Friday. It's going to stay nice through Saturday, but you'll notice there are some changes happening. Rain on the way for Sunday and then a cool down next week. Some of the coolest weather of the season. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
Trucks, great trucks, and great offers. Find them at Wendell Ford during our truck month. Ranger, Maverick, and America's most purchased truck, the F-150. Built Ford tough. Low rates, special financing, and generous trade-in assistance await you. Some with 1.9% financing. These trucks are ready to move. It's Truck Month at Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division. Drive for generations.
Honey, that was my brother. Can we bring him dinner tomorrow? He's been having a hard time since his accident.
Of course. I know it's been tough. There's so many costs that his insurance doesn't even cover.
I know. The ramp to his front door, transportation, meal preparation. What if something happens to one of us?
We should plan to sit down soon. We can look through the long-term care benefits that we're earning with WA Cares.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Flooring is not forever. Are you tired of stains, traffic patterns, chips, dents, scratches, and the smells? Shop for the perfect flooring for your life, whether you need carpet, laminate, or hardwood. Great Floors is here to help you reinvent your space. We are celebrating Karastan Month in October by offering incredible discounts on Karastan carpet and hardwood flooring. Ask about our in-house 0% 12-month financing. Visit a Great Floors today and spend the winter on Great Floors.
Crime is skyrocketing, and the homelessness crisis is just getting worse. When will it be enough? I'm Kim Please, running to make our neighborhoods safer and to help those in need. Vote Kim Please for City Council President.
I'm gonna punch your head in. Look at my dog.
Oh, well, this video is from a martial arts instructor in Australia. It looks like he's facing one of his toughest opponents yet. That kangaroo who was attempting to drown his dog.
That thing was jacked. When I wrestled with it, it was like I was hugging a fridge.
Look at my dog.
Well, Mick slapped the kangaroo. And as he said, the ripped marsupial was slapping Mick's phone out of his hand. And Mick says he actually was laughing during this whole situation, so he must not have been too worried about his dog, and then started making fun of his 3 dogs that he'd been out walking.
Hachi, not feeling so tough now, are you, dude? Where were you to save him? And you?
That is a kangaroo unlike any I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh, that is terrifying. That is terrifying.
People are starting to sell the kangaroo claw.
Look.
Oh, ouch. Yeah. Okay, so kangaroos have abs. We learned that today.
What the? That's another. What do kangaroos have against dogs? Oh my goodness.
I think they're just ready to box at any moment. Is this a different video?
I don't know what this is, but it's very. Okay, another reason to never leave Spokane.
Stay safe.
Terrifying kangaroos. Let's talk about something much more pleasant, like the weather today. Temperatures 20 degrees above average, 76 in Spokane, record of 73. I said 1944 earlier. The first time we hit this record was in 1921. Subsequent years, 1941 was the last time we hit 73 on this day. 5:55 was our sunset time. Mostly clear tonight, 44 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, high temperature of 70. Winds generally light. We may see an increase in clouds late in the day, but there are no clouds to be found this evening. Crystal clear conditions across the region thanks to this ridge of high pressure that is going to stay with us for Friday, but it is starting to break down as we get into Saturday. Here's Saturday at 4 o'clock. We're starting to see that flatten. That's going to allow more and more clouds in, and eventually an upper level trough swings in for Sunday. That brings us a good chance of light rain. I don't think we're going to see a particularly heavy rain with this system, but we are going to have a wet Sunday, and there's another round of cool, wet weather that's coming in for the middle of next week. That's going to make it feel even more like we're getting closer to the winter season. Chance of precipitation 0 tomorrow, 0 Saturday. Saturday, your best outdoor day, up to a 60% chance in Spokane of rain on Sunday, higher in North Idaho. And then we get a break Monday with more rain on the way Tuesday into Wednesday. Wouldn't rule out a little bit of snow mixing in the early morning, late night during that time period. But tonight we are clear with temperatures in the 40s, high temperatures tomorrow in the 70s in many locations. We're close to the 70s on Saturday. The clouds increase throughout the day. Then that rain comes in for Sunday. Temperatures drop a little bit more Monday and then really start to drop as we get into the middle of next week. We've got 40s on the way Thursday. Indications are that trend will keep going through next weekend for even cooler conditions. And gardeners, I want to draw your attention to that Wednesday night into Thursday morning temperature of 33 degrees. Not only might you look out at your garden and see a little bit of light snow, I doubt it, but you may say goodbye to the rest of your annuals and tender plants that are not going to survive that temperature. Kirsten?
Take your pictures now while they last.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Those blue skies behind them. Thank you, Chris. Well, there's a national conference in Spokane right now helping Indigenous students pursue a career in STEM. Marissa Rio takes us there and shares stories from Native students in the area.
ACES hosts these conferences every year, and Indigenous students from all over the nation and Canada attend. I spoke to a few Indigenous students in our area, and they say that it's nice to see Natives in the fields that they wish to pursue.
It shows that even if I don't have all the opportunities as most people, I can still definitely get into it.
That was Cassius Parrish, a freshman from Lake Roosevelt Junior-Senior High and a member of the Colville Confederated Tribes. He says he wants to work on airplanes and pursue mechanical engineering.
I wanted to come out here today to see what people in the field I'm interested in working at and how they got into their field.
Parrish says so far he's been able to network. The conference gives Indigenous students that opportunity. There are different panels students can attend and a room to help them with their resumes. One speaker is a graduate of Lake Roosevelt and is now a controls design engineer. His first conference was back in 2010.
Up until that point in time, I had never met another Indigenous person working in a STEM field. And so going to ACES was really inspiring because I got to see people like me in careers that I wanted to strive for. So I hope to pay it forward and be an example to those young, aspiring high school and college students.
And that's exactly why a Lake Roosevelt teacher wanted to bring his students here.
It was one of my priorities as a teacher to create opportunities for our students, and specifically Indigenous students, and expose them to all the opportunities, schools, internships, scholarships, everything that ACES has to offer.
The event started today and will end with a ceremonial gathering on Saturday. Reporting in Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Marissa. Still ahead, a push to conserve land in Kootenai County. How $50 million in bonds would be spent if approved by voters. Coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
The most important issue in this mayor's race? Crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
Tuesdays at Northern Quest are now officially Tuesdays with a capital 2. Together with Coors Light, we're doubling up the fun for Camus Rewards members every Tuesday with 2 times the points, $2 Coors Lights, double promotion entries, $2 food specials, and too many more resort-wide deals to list here. So grab your Camus Rewards card and make the most of your Tuesday with Tuesdays, only at Northern Quest. Details at northernquest.com.
You've been hearing about it, and now we've got it at Post Falls Volkswagen, the ID4 electric SUV. This SUV has a space, warranty, technology that buyers want at a price that's competitive. The ID4 was engineered to win the hearts of SUV owners ready to go electric. With a quick charge and an EPA estimated range of 260 miles.
The Volkswagen ID4, now eligible for a $7,500 lease credit.
The ID4 electric SUV, see it at Post Falls Volkswagen.
It's time for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
SDCU is kicking off Coats for Kids with a fun competition. Ready, set, go! We'll donate as many coats as our brave volunteers can layer in 1 minute. Donate your coats at any SDCU branch through the month of October.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Valley Branch.
Seattle Police!
Auburn police are searching for these 3 men who tried to break into a home late last night. Wow, the homeowner quickly grabbed a gun and began firing at them through the door. Well, the video shows all 3 of those men ran off as soon as they managed to get the door open. Investigators say no one was hurt. There's new advice on how to protect yourself and your family from imposter phone call scams. The Federal Trade Commission says they're now The most commonly reported scams in the U.S. using artificial intelligence to create a voice that sounds like someone close to you. Catching a fake in the heat of the moment can be extremely difficult. Cybersecurity experts say to protect yourself, families should create a code word or a code question only they know to help confirm the caller's identity.
Think about a memory that you both share. I could just say, okay, son, what position do you play in football? And what's he going to say? Even under stress, he knows he doesn't play football. He's going to say, I don't play football. Where a fraudster might say, quarterback.
The second tip, be skeptical, slow things down long enough to make direct contact with your family member another way. And the third, if the caller asks for payment in cryptocurrency or in gift cards, that is a major red flag. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including why some families are blaming Snapchat for their kids' drug overdoses. And we'll have the latest on the Israel-Hamas war still ahead.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
At Just Between Friends, you'll find everything you need for your family. It's all here.
I've been shopping in JBF since my kids were little, and we just love it.
Is the one-stop shop for everything that you need for your kids and your grandkids.
I'm a first-time mom. I got a lot of clothing, shoes, I got a changing table. It's been a lot of fun.
Such a blessing to be able to shop, sell, and save at JBF. This has been a game changer for our family.
Just Between Friends at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds this weekend.
Bindi Irwin. She's faced pain and intense fatigue for years, and she says doctors dismissed it. Now tomorrow, she reveals what she did and the procedure that finally helped change everything for her. It's what every woman should know. Tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Have you been looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle and wondered, where have all the used cars gone?
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking for Toyota, Subaru, Ford, or maybe that perfect Honda.
Every pre-owned vehicle is quality inspected and ready for you to take home today.
We work with local lenders to get you the rate you deserve.
Inventory changes daily, so come see us at Coeur d'Alene Honda or visit us on our website at cdahonda.com.
Why join UFCW 3000? I'm the lead person when we negotiate with employers for better wages, benefits, and working conditions.
You've heard the phrase, strength in numbers.
Well, it sure helps when you have over 50,000 union members supporting one another.
Thanks, UFCW 3000.
Our website can both answer your questions and connect you with our team who can help you explore your union opportunities.
Wild scenes at the Taylor Swift concert film. Next, Inside Edition. Are the fans just having fun or ruining the experience for everyone? Then, the world on the brink. Will the conflict in Israel spill out across the Middle East? Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
President Biden says he is planning on asking Congress to pass an unprecedented aid package for Ukraine and Israel. The president saying the aid package would set Israel up for generations. ABC's Inés de la Cuerta has more.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
President Biden addressing the nation this evening, giving Americans an update on the U.S. response to the growing conflict between Israel and Hamas.
As hard as it is, we cannot give up on peace. We cannot give up on a two-state solution. Israel and Palestinians equally deserve to live in safety, dignity, and peace.
Israel's defense forces continuing to pound Gaza with retaliatory airstrikes following the savage October 7th attack by Hamas that killed more than 1,400 people. with more than 4,500 others injured and at least 203 held hostage, according to Israeli authorities. And now a ground invasion by the IDF seems imminent.
We're going to have to destroy Hamas. It's our obligation. We can't have this happen again.
The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 3,700 have been killed in Gaza, with more than 3 times that number injured. Conditions in Gaza becoming more dire every day. Millions trapped without food, water, medicine, or power. Many fleeing their homes, like Tala, a 21-year-old Palestinian woman. She says her neighborhood was bombed last night, forcing her family to seek shelter at a hospital.
It's not safe, but it's safer than my house. Safer than all houses, actually.
President Biden was able to broker a deal to allow for food, water, and humanitarian aid into Gaza during his visit to Israel. Egypt has now agreed to open the Rafah crossing to let that aid in. Inez Delaquatera, ABC News, Jerusalem.
In about 2 weeks, voters in Kootenai County will decide whether to approve a $50 million bond meant to preserve open space in the county. County commissioners say the bond will preserve areas like Rathdrum Prairie while only costing taxpayers about $8 extra a year. Bronte Sorotsky shares what this could do for the county and why some are against it.
If this bond passes, the area behind me could become a playground or a dog park, but some people living in the area say they like to keep this just the way it is.
If we're going to buy it up, we shouldn't turn it into parks or dog parks or walkways. That's not what we need.
Trent Crawford lives in Rathdrum. He says he enjoys living here because of open spaces like this. It's why he says he doesn't want it to change, like some other parts of the county.
This is as close to the way it was when I moved here 3 years ago as it's ever going to be because of the development. And I don't want it to happen any further.
But this development is why County Commissioner Bruce Mateer says this bond is so needed.
Well, because that area is actually experiencing the greatest amount of density, and there's very little open space left. And so what we've decided is just to focus on that area and try to preserve as much as that open space as possible.
If the bond passes, County Commissioners will be able to buy the land, preserve it by turning it into something like a bike path or a park, and make sure it never turns into a housing or shopping complex. And with Kootenai County's population continuing to grow, commissioners say the time to act is now.
This area is growing. It's growing very fast, and there's very limited open space out there. And as a consequence of growth, we're going to pay for it one way or another. We're either going to be sitting in more traffic, we're going to be standing in longer lines, or we're going to pay a few extra dollars on our taxes to buy up this space and preserve it so that there will be less density in the area.
Voters have until November 7th, just a little over 2 weeks, to decide how they'll vote on this bond. Reporting in Kootenai County, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Live look over the One Spokane Stadium. Big game tonight, Rogers and West Valley. The crowds are coming in. Should be a good game. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. More sunshine and 70s. For tomorrow, it is going to stay nice through Saturday. Then we have some rain coming in on Sunday, cooling down next week, and that does include the potential for our first good hard freeze here in Spokane. Today, quite the opposite. 76, the high temperature in Spokane officially. That breaks the record of 73 degrees. Tomorrow we are going to be a little bit cooler, a high temperature of 70. That's still about 15 degrees above average. Clouds will be increasing late in the day, partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, but nothing coming out of those clouds tomorrow night or Saturday. Air quality may get into the moderate range just because we've had this ridge of high pressure in place and things are starting to stagnate a little bit. I will be back in just a few minutes. Fresh from NOAA, we have got the long range forecast for winter. I'll let you know if there's any surprises on the way for the cold season in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. If you're still looking for a way to help fire victims in Medical Lake, skilled sawyers are needed this Saturday to help cut down and limb burned trees. This help goes a long way for families who are right at the beginning of that recovery process. There are cleanup days on the next 3 Saturdays. You do have to pre-register online if you want to volunteer. The QR code to sign up is on KXLY.com. For the first time, we have a look inside the Spokane County Sheriff's Office Regional Training Center. The facility in West Plains will be a new place for law enforcement to learn and practice a variety of emergency situations. Peter Choi explains why the new facility matters for your safety.
From an indoor shooting range to a 50-foot concrete tower for helicopter rescue.
We have our Huey helicopter body on. We have our hoist that mimics the hoist that we have in the Rescue 3 helicopter.
This is the new home to train deputies with the county sheriff's office. Deputy Jeffrey Welton says it will help law enforcement to get used to many kinds of rescue missions.
Practice what we do without actually flying. So we can get a lot of repetitions. It's a lot cheaper for us to be able to use a tower facility even in bad weather.
I'm here at SWAT training right now. The goal here is to learn and adopt all kind of strategy so that they can respond to emergency situation as quickly as possible.
The simulator provides multiple scenarios such as hostage rescues. The key is to de-escalate the situation. With more than 30 years as law enforcement, Deputy Mike Brooks says this tool is important for the safety of both deputies and the public.
As you know, the new recruits these days, the biggest challenge we're having with them is communication. With new technology, people don't talk verbally to each other, so this is going to be an excellent tool for them to work that out, to get more comfortable talking to people.
New recruits have been already using the facility.
It makes better police officers, and again, on the de-escalation and talking with mental health, whatever, this just gives us a huge variety of different scenarios that they can encounter.
In Spokane County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, still ahead, Washington State football is looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak. How the Cougars plan to get back on track in this week's Chalk Talk.
Download the 4 News Now app today. The name you've trusted for years at a new time. Derek Dice joins Kirsten O'Connor on 4 News Now at 5 and 6 and Nightside, beginning next week.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
This is your season to smile with Aspen Dental dentures or implants. To gather together and discover the moments that matter. To jump into the fun and join in the celebration. To help get you ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic anniversary savings event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with $500 off your denture or implant care. Whichever option you need, our team of experts is ready to help guide your decision and start your journey. Aspen Dental. Book today.
Hondas are piggy banks on wheels. Stylish, athletic piggy banks that save you money at every glorious turn. Legendary fuel efficiency, famous for its resale value, and now with great deals including 2 years complimentary maintenance, it's your chance to get into America's best value brand. So start saving money and drive happy as a pig in. See your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers, a fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you're free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
At the Tin Roof.
Well, you can catch some high-flying action this weekend in the Spokane Valley Mall parking lot. Cirque Italia is coming to town, and you'll only have 4 days to catch this pirate-themed show.
It's a very unique Las Vegas-style show here. And what makes us different compared to other circuses is that we are animal free.
Well, this all opens tomorrow. To see how your kids could get in for free, look for this story on KXLY.com.
I saw them setting that up yesterday, and it was very flashy and elaborate and classy looking. That should be fun to check out. Well, the winter outlook for 2023-2024 was released today from the Climate Prediction Center and NOAA, and there were some big takeaways from this outlook. We know it's an El Nino winter coming up for the first time in 4 years. The potential for drought development throughout the Pacific Northwest, mainly because El Nino winters almost always mean warmer than average weather in the Northwest. Usually drier than average, but that there's a little bit of leeway there. Now, this is the outlook for November, December, and January. If this included February, it would look exactly the same. A very strong signal of above average temperatures for that time period. Things do get a little bit iffy when it comes to precipitation. Again, it would look just like this if this continued through February. So this is the trend all the way through February. We're in that light orange for most of the inland Northwest. Granted, the majority of our ski areas are in this, and mountains are in this darker brown, but there is definitely a trend toward below average precipitation. We have had fantastic El Nino winters in terms of snowpack. Very, very important. We have had less than thrilling. I believe that is going to remain to be seen. We'll take it system by system, but down here where the folks live, this is not going to be will most likely not be an especially bad winter. We could still get a doozy of a storm, but as we look back on it as a whole, it is going to be fairly mild. And it is El Nino, the warming of the sea surface temperatures in the equatorial Pacific, driving our forecast for the winter months. Temperature trend over the next 7 days, we're going to go from well above average to really just a little below average. 47 sounds really cold considering we were at 76 today, but it is just a hair below our average high, which will be getting close to the 40s by this time next week. Our chance of precipitation starts on Sunday at 60%, a little bit of a break Monday with more rain on Tuesday, possibly seeing some snow trying to mix in some of the valleys Tuesday night into Wednesday, or late Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday, a high of 47, and there's that overnight low of 33. I think most of us are going to say goodbye to the growing season by the middle of next week. Kirsten?
All right, thank you, Chris. We have a consumer alert for anyone who owns a biometric gun safe. Safes from the brands Fortress, Cabela's, Gettysburg, and Legend Range and Field are being recalled. A programming feature on the biometric safes can allow them to open without authorized access. A 12-year-old boy allegedly died from a firearm he was able to get out of one of these safes. There have been nearly a dozen other reports of the safes being accessed by unpaired fingerprints. So if you think you may have one, contact Fortress Safes for instructions on a fix and to get a free replacement. There's a new legal battle over drugs available on social media. Some families who've lost children to drug overdose are suing Snapchat, demanding changes to protect kids. ABC's Andrea Fujii explains.
This morning, dozens of parents are pleading for change, suing social media platform Snapchat, claiming their children died after taking illegal drugs sold by dealers on the app.
Snapchat is the largest open-air drug market we have in the United States, especially when it comes to our kids.
Putting your kid on Snapchat is like dropping him off in the most dangerous drug-filled neighborhood and hoping he does well for himself.
More than 60 families have joined the suit that claims Snapchat's features, including automatically deleted messages and the My Eyes Only privacy, make illegal activities harder to track. Amy Neville remembers the night her 14-year-old son, Alexander, told her about his drug use.
Wanted to experiment with Oxy. I got some from a dealer on Snapchat. It has a hold on me, and I don't know why.
Alex died the next night after his mother says he took a fentanyl-laced oxycodone pill he allegedly got from someone he met on Snapchat.
The dealer's in our kids' pocket 24/7. They come to your home and deliver to your house or somewhere nearby. It's very easy.
16-year-old Sammy Chapman also died after his parents say he overdosed on fentanyl he got from a dealer he allegedly met on the app.
He delivered a lethal dose of fentanyl to our home like a pizza.
Snap Inc., the owner of Snapchat, responding, saying it uses cutting-edge technology to try and keep users safe and is working hard to stop dealers from abusing our platform and to raise awareness about the dangers of fentanyl. Many of the parents say they're not suing for money. They just want more done to protect kids.
Let's be honest, right? They designed it. They know how to fix it.
As for Sammy Chapman's death, his family says the local district attorney decided not to prosecute the alleged drug dealer. They're now pushing for Sammy's Law, aimed at holding social media companies responsible for crimes committed on their platforms. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. Caregiving is the nation's most common job, with 54 million people nationwide acting as a caregiver to their loved one. To honor and support Washington's caregivers, AARP presents the Caring for Caregivers video podcast series. The series features discussions with local experts, community leaders, and caregivers on a range of topics, including financial planning, housing options, healthy aging, and more. To catch up on current and past episodes, visit this website.
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
"People care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system." I believe that.
Brown's actual record? She gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to La Taxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
Floor & Home by Carpet One authorized manufacturer sale is going on now. Top quality manufacturers, Shaw, Cortec, and Anderson Tuftex, have lowered their prices up to 40% off on quality hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxurious carpet. You'll be sure to find the perfect floor from our largest and finest selection of Shaw, Cortec, and Anderson Tuftex flooring. On sale up to 40% off at Floor & Home by Carpet One. North side, just north of the Y on Division, and now in Liberty Lake on Country Vista Drive.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
What you're seeing today is Dr. Renee Badreau completing a successful eye surgery, and the dedicated hours of training in virtual reality that helped make it happen, allowing her to practice surgical techniques to increase access to quality care through immersive environments. These are the ways surgeons with Fundamental VR and Orbis are using the metaverse today.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Brainstorm at KXLY.com.
Well, we're about to find out what the Washington State Cougars are made of. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. The Cougars will face their toughest test of the season when they take on number 9 Oregon on the road on Saturday. Washington State goes into this matchup in desperate need of a win. The Cougars have dropped 2 straight games. Alex Crescenti is here in studio to show us how Washington State can end the losing streak in this week's Chalk Talk.
A 4-2 record isn't bad. There's a lot of teams that would kill to be there right now. But for Washington State, it certainly feels like a missed opportunity to stay in the Pac-12 race. Now, in order for them to avoid a 3-game losing streak and get their season rolling again, they're going to need to rely on their star quarterback to start playing like that again. And even the Oregon Ducks know Cam Ward is capable of just about anything on the field.
We just have to execute. We haven't done that the past 2 weeks. I haven't done that. Me giving the ball to defense, not helping the defense to help them, because we honestly gave them 14 points. So, we have to play complementary football as an offense, and, we haven't been doing that the past 2 weeks.
Like any good leader, Cam Ward is putting a lot of the blame on himself. And these last 2 weeks, he really hasn't been his normal self.
Fumble, interception, penalties.
With opposing defenses starting to adapt to the Cougars' attack, Ward has just less than 400 yards passing, 4 turnovers, and a quarterback rating of 30.1 during that time.
What they're doing is taking away the quick game, and that's a big part of what we do. And then now your different, layers and leveling and all that type of stuff that goes into it. And then it allows kind of the protection maybe to break down a little bit more and get Cam scrambling around.
Now, even with the recent struggles, Oregon players have to respect Cam's game and what he's capable of. And they know he might lead them on a wild goose chase.
This is probably the most annoying quarterback I don't like going against. He drops back 13 yards. It's like backyard football. So
Now, while the Ducks are showing some respect to Washington State, Vegas certainly isn't, as Oregon is sitting at 20-point favorites in this matchup, something no one saw coming just a couple of weeks ago. Julian, send it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Alex. And kickoff is at 12:30 on Saturday, right here on KXLY. Now, there are 7 Seattle Mariners in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and another one could be added to the list next year. Former Mariners manager Lou Piniella is a candidate for next year's Hall of Fame class. Piniella is a 3-time World Series champion who managed the Mariners from 1993 to 2002. He led Seattle to 4 postseason appearances, including a historic 116-win season in 2001. Piniella also won Manager of the Year in 2001. Piniella is already part of the Mariners Hall of Fame class, and he will need at least 75% of the votes to be elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And that'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
Betsy Wilkerson doesn't just talk about strengthening community safety, she spent her career doing it. During her tenure on City Council, Betsy Wilkerson increased funding for our police and firefighters every single year. Betsy voted to prevent open drug use in our streets while increasing mental health resources. And Betsy secured funding for our Spokane police and fire academies to invest in top-notch training. So don't believe the lies and attacks. Betsy Wilkerson's record of strengthening community safety is clear.
I'm Betsy Wilkerson, and I'd be honored to have your vote.
Spokane Tribe Casino brings American actor and comedian David Spade to Spokane Live Saturday, October 21st. Tickets are available online now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com.
It's chilly. Maybe I'll get my windbreaker.
Don't miss David Spade, October 21st, live at Spokane Tribe Casino, Airway Heights, Washington.
Meanwhile, we're in the back like, help us!
Entertainment without limits.
We're still here for a gift for yourself or that special someone, or an early holiday shopping at the Sapphire Gallery or Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg. It's as easy as picking up the phone or clicking on our website to order some beautiful sapphire jewelry or a sweet and tasty treat. However you're dealing with the stay-at-home blahs, treat yourself or someone you love with a surprise gift from the Sweet Palace and Sapphire Gallery, side by side in Phillipsburg, Montana. We've got your goodies.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
Next ET, our Chip and Joanna Gaines fixer-upper exclusive.
Talk about a good before and after.
Plus, pickleball with the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, this has been amazing.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
I want to find the woman that I can't live without.
Be open to the process.
Oh, it works!
I'm falling in love with you, Gary.
Oh, there's that 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, 70 and sunny, and then some changes, but changes are good, right?
That's a 20, is that a 20-degree difference?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure my math was correct. I don't usually do math on live TV. That is, I hand that over to you, Chris.
Yeah, a little more.